Around Moscow since the 1960s to 1970s, a layered air defense system has been built, which was aimed at counteracting nuclear missile systems. Nikolai Malomuzh, former head of the Foreign Intelligence Service of Ukraine and Army General, spoke about this on air at Channel 24. They are, as a rule, outdated. Moreover, they are designed for ballistic and tactical missiles. And today there is another model of war. These are attack drones of various types that change the vector of movement. We also have the stealth protection system, radio noise, and other concealment systems. Therefore, this system does not work, Malomuzh said. He noted that when establishing a layered defense around Moscow, each asset was assigned a specific sector of control. That old system blocked all sectors, as they say, tightly the entire territory of the Moscow region, and that's many hundreds of kilometers. Because Moscow itself now has about 15 million people, and the territory itself is a huge agglomeration that needs to be protected. Therefore, the old system not only cannot protect against the latest means, it does not block everything. Therefore, they take the basic systems that were there, place the latest means there, and saturate them more densely along the same perimeter. Malomuzh added, the general noted that Ukraine needs to strike new systems at the moment of their installation. At the same time, he noted that it is also necessary to look for weak points in Russian air defense and improve the technological capabilities of its own strike weapons, missiles, and drones. We are improving them systematically, that their electronic warfare and air defense systems may simply not see them. And artificial intelligence can now work very effectively to devalue these defense systems that they install, or mislead them through electronic influences on their software, Malomuzh noted. Recall the Russian media outlet Current Time reported that the Kremlin is building a new air defense ring around the capital. It is noted that its goal will be to counter Ukrainian drones. At the same time, it is reported that new positions are often built near former Soviet small air defense ring facilities where S-25 Berkut systems were previously deployed to protect the capital from possible NATO attacks. According to military expert Yevgeny Diki, Ukraine is approaching the moment when Russia will have no air defense systems left. According to Diki, Russia is actively transferring its air defense systems to Crimea, where they are systematically destroyed by Ukrainian troops.
As reported, Ukrainian drones targeted the Tatsinskaya railway station in Russia's Rostov Oblast overnight on August 5. The railway station acts as a logistics hub for nearby oil infrastructure and is used to transport grain. At least 10 explosions occurred throughout Rostov Oblast as air defenses responded to the drone attack, local media reported. In the town of Milarovo, power outages reportedly occurred. Mobile networks partially shut down in the region, the electric utility company Donenergo said. Rostov Oblast acting governor Yuri Slyuser in the morning of August 5 reported that Russia's military repelled a massive air attack in the Bely Kalitva, Tetsinsky, Chertkovsky, and Milarovsky districts of the oblast. At a farmstead in Verkhnetolovka, Milarovsky district, a substation caught fire, with the blaze later extinguished, he said. Another fire broke out and was quickly put out near the Tatsinskaya railway station, with a canopy in a home's yard burning, Slyuser said. Tatsinskaya is located about 100 kilometers from Ukraine's border with Russia and approximately 305 kilometers from Ukrainian-held territory near Pokrovsk in Donetsk Oblast. Ukraine regularly strikes military infrastructure deep within Russia in an effort to diminish Moscow's fighting power, as it continues to wage its war. A massive Ukrainian drone attack targeted the Archita railway station in Russia's Volgograd Oblast on August 4. In the early hours of July 29, strike drones targeted a fuel train at a major railway junction in the city of Salsk, Rostov region. Later, Russian railways announced that train traffic through the Salsk railway station had been suspended. They added that a freight train caught fire following the drone strike. According to Astra, passengers of the Novokuznetsk-Kislovodsk train, which was at the Salsk station at the time of the drone attack, have since returned to their train. It appears that the drones striking the Salsk station were targeting a train carrying military equipment and fuel and lubricants, according to the Ukrainian Korn Group military unit. The target of the drone strike was a military train of the Russian occupation forces moving toward the Ukrainian border, the Ukrainian Militarny media outlet suggested.
Russia is spreading claims that Ukraine's defense forces are preparing for counter-offensive operations in August or early September. Viktor Yahun, former deputy head of the SBU Reserve Major General and military expert, said this on Espresso TV. The Russians are actively circulating reports that Ukraine is planning a large-scale counter-offensive in August or early September. They genuinely expect it. Yahun said, "As far as I know, no such operation is planned at the moment, though there are some signs that our defense forces are preparing for something." Yahun said he believes Ukraine can withstand Russia's ongoing offensive. According to him, once the Ukrainian defense forces stop the Russian advance, the country will be in a stronger position. The most important task now is to hold out against the onslaught Putin promised to deliver within 60 days, he said. Then we'll be able to look those in the eye who claimed Ukraine wouldn't survive this offensive and would collapse. I believe we will hold. We'll stop the enemy and enter September much stronger than they expect. In this case, the liberation of Kindrativka in Sumy region is part of stabilization efforts by Ukrainian forces, not the start of a large-scale counter-offensive, said military expert and former deputy chief of the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, Ihor Romanenko. According to Romanenko, the situation involves holding back the advance of Russian forces after they crossed the border and launched an offensive. At the Kotin-Yablunivka line, our troops were deployed there. The decision involved the 225th Separate Assault Battalion from Kursk region and some additional efforts, and we managed to stabilize the western flank of the entire line in particular, he noted. The expert reported that Kindrativka became the second settlement to be retaken, and Ukrainian forces are now trying to secure their positions in those areas. He pointed out that the enemy ended up in a river bend which limits their maneuvering capabilities. Our forces are conducting offensive actions there, driving the enemy into this bend, and the river is all around. They either have to cross it to escape or wait for someone to help transfer reserves. In any case, the situation is difficult for them, the expert emphasized. However, the situation remains tense, especially on the eastern flank. Russian forces managed to capture Yablunivka, and fighting for Yunakivka continues. To say there is an offensive in this direction, I think that would be inaccurate. But the western flank has been stabilized. Hopefully, the same can be done on the eastern side, he said. The expert also stressed the importance of controlling Yunakivka, as it provides a tactical advantage in the Sumy direction. It's not about the course of an offensive. Counterattacks were carried out there. The 225th Separate Assault Battalion and previous actions to liberate settlements, both then and now, are very important and necessary, he said. He added that if additional forces were available, Ukrainian troops could take advantage of the situation as the enemy is trapped in the river bend. They can either be captured, defeated, or destroyed there. But the enemy is also aware of this and will respond accordingly with their reserves, Romanenko explained.